approximately finishing the design of the down. Then how many could Namanara down? Let's approximately how number 1 hour top of the dozen. I know to New York. Ika kan ni mako bitaw na internet to. Popular na ito. Naroon ang ini nga man ko ito naroon ang ito ay man ito. Kung dumadaw na pagpunta sa ito kasi man wala.
Kami lang ito to. Kaya ito ko para sila. Kano ito ba sa mga tanadi. Ito kasi man lang ito kasi ko. Kaya mga sabali ito ko makala. Ito kasi man lang ito kasi ko. Kaya magbalap na siya kami. Ito kasi wala ko lang ito malawin. Magbalap ka tulad pinulo. Kasi niya di. Kaya nakikinok sa mga tanong nyo naman. Kaya na yung parang ito, magtapawa. Kung parang sa mga ano ito, kung parang sa mga tanong naman. Kasi mga natalto. Kaya natin ka na ako sa kanya malaki sa katalit sa kanya. Siya.
Nakulaw ko. Kityaklop pa lang nga. Kasi naligala yung kakandaro ng mga kakao nga. Sipuyo niya sa katigyan eh. Kawin kita niyo nga. Kasi na ako nga. Hindi na bulik. Mau nga. Sa umianap niya sa kakalak si magalaw nga. Muna. Ulak-yaw na. Kasi naligala si mga siluko. Mau nga. Dawyamit sa nga. Sa kasi mo natin sa kanya.
Sa kanakita ako sa kitalit siya. Yung kaya ba, nung nakikita pa rin sa kanya, parang nakakagit na yung aking mga kasarang mga. Ako si Marcos to.
Yung parang akatya, ko yung mga naman. Ikay man nasa ngayon ko naman. Kasi ano ang nasa ngayon ko naman nakipawa ko. Kaya kung napagkaya ito yung ayos sa taon na kumalit ko. Kung may pinito, manawang ilagit ko wala ko mo. Wala kong biyahan. Ano ko, adi yung nagtangin. Ikong magdunit, iwan na wala kong ilaharwa. Kaya man narin na siya. Ang ikaw wala ko sa mga nilat, ako marala sa wala ko ka. Dapat ko, kung yan, ang makano yawan sa marala siya. Sila kano yawan, ilano na kano yawan. Kaya man na ulas ko, iman na yung awatid ko yung ang umar ko, iman nabigyo sa rakalak ko, iman na di kaya nga sa Jauh ko yung ino. Ano ka na, mga kwata ko yung ano.
Kalau dia ada tiap mentor sama itu kau dunia, dia kisah kau yang salah kamu. Abang misalnya ngatin, anu kerja ada orang suntai anu kali ini tu anu orang suntai tahu na, anu seni ada malu yang ada tahu na, tu masuk sila ulian dulu, orang aji pada orang.
What's up, pups? How's everybody doing tonight? Been a second. Where you guys at? Ooh, hey. What do you think? Ethnosapien, what's up, brother? How are you? So quiet. Good more. Yeah. All right, T.S. Pedro, what's happening? Tom Rudders. What's up with you, man? Crypto Phil. I see some myceliums there. Good to have you, man. Data Dev, what's up, man? Good to be back. Claudia, good to see you. Arta Suave, what's up, man? Yeah. Los Marek, nice to meet you, man. Alpha Hover, how's it going? Fast Abdul, what's up, brother? Ryan, Jim Cork. Is alt season traditionally June 15th? Let's see. What's up, my Eskimo brothers? Is this a stream where the tech is? What's up, Bright Light? Tam, what's going on? Do the igloo have Wi-Fi? They do have Wi-Fi now. They do. They're kind of more high-tech igloos. Probably nicer than some of the places you guys are living in right now. Maybe. All right, what's up, KD? What's going on? Crypto Jackoff. Thanks for the repost. Sir, how are you? What's up, Sunlight? Talking about global warming with that wind direction. Yeah, they've been noticing it for a while now. You know, well, we'll talk about it in a second here. What's up, Grandpa? How you doing? Ciao. What's up, KD? So good to see everybody. It's been a while. I did write in the Telegram I was taking off a little early in the summer because I could tell the cycle was a little bit different for sure. And I just knew I needed to get some rest. Plus, I have been working on something. So I had something else going on, and I just wanted to get some sun and a little rest because I had a feeling the summer could start to get really crazy. And here we are, June 13th, Friday 13th. Things are just getting crazier. So I'm glad I got that rest because now if things get really heated, I'm kind of ready for it. I kind of handled a lot of things that I needed to get handled. You guys will hear about some of these things soon. Yeah, some of you guys forgot to hit the like button. That's true KD, so everybody smash it. What's up, Teddy Bear, Trope of Love? Good to see you. But it's good to be back. I really did miss you guys a lot. You have no idea how much I missed streaming and hanging out with you guys. This is better than going to a bar or anything like that. It's always great to see you guys. The vibes are always amazing. And yeah, we got a lot of news, a lot of interesting things. We're just going to focus on really the big thing happening right now. And obviously, we're going to look at the crypto market. We're going to talk about how this could affect the crypto market, what you should be doing right now, how you should be thinking about it, what you should be thinking about as we go forward. As you guys know, the Hart man has a bit of a, not a gag order, but he can't really say much until, I don't know what is it July 6th, July 7th? You guys can, I'm just going off, riffing off the top of my head. It's somewhere in July where he can technically start streaming or speaking or saying what he wants, right? So we have a lot of things to look forward to. Things could get heated up pretty quickly here. But we're going to look at where we are right now, what's going on, what's happening. Yo, I'm going to drop the link for the streaming. I think I got plenty of bandwidth tonight. And let me make sure I don't have too many things open before I drop that in there. Okay, cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and throw that in. Anybody wants to join? I don't even remember what buttons to click. Is it this button? Let's see. Oh no, that's not good. What just happened? How's the sound, everybody? Everything's good? It's been a second. Okay, cool. I'm going to drop this link in the Telegram right now. What is in July? Well, a lot of things. First of all, I think it is the celebration of 250 years of the United States, which is kind of a big deal. And because, for a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons. Put that there. We can go put this in there. Great, sounds good. What's up, Josh T? Good to see you, man. I'm surprised I remember how to work any of this stuff. Yeah, sounds good. You got a little bit of music, a little bit of rain. I'm going to bring the rain down a little bit here. Cool. Sound is good. So in July, what happens in July? Well, it's a 250-year anniversary of the United States. So we're expecting some fireworks. I think we've already got some. So let's go ahead. So this is, somebody actually got some rare footage of Genghis Khan. This is pretty cool. Check this out. This is really funny. Can I make this bigger for you guys? Yeah. It's good to be back. It's so good. Guys, I don't know where in the world you guys are, but if you're not in Prague right now, there's something wrong with you. It's incredible. I don't even have the words to express how unbelievably incredible spring kicks off here in Central Europe or Eastern Europe, whatever you want to call it. Like, it is just like heaven. And we don't know anything that's going on about the war. There's no fluoride. There's no one's spraying chemtrails. It's just sunshine, and yeah, it's awesome. It's amazing out here. It really is incredible out here. Let's see.
Declared me the leader of all Mongols. What country should we invade first? Chat, should I burn this village to the ground or spare them?
Chat, what do you think? What should he do?
This wall doesn't seem that great. Is this thing supposed to keep me out?
Oh my god, chat. The Shah of Khwarezm just killed my peace envoys. Call a doctor, but not for me. Brothers, we ride at dawn. I am the punishment of God. If you had not committed great sins, God would not have sent a punishment like me upon you. Never invade Russia in winter, kids. Unless you are the Mongols.
It's a good rule.
Chat, what should I name my new horse? Nah, those names are crazy.
Check out my new postal service. Now I can keep track of my 500 wives.
What's up, Beijing?
Well, there's not much left of it now.
Chad, I see a lot of people saying I'm evil or bad. I try not to let the haters get to me, but are we the baddies?
That was awesome. AI is really getting out of hand. I got a lot of stuff to show you, but we got to get to work, man. We got to get to it. We got to get to it. So the link is in the Telegram. Link is in the Telegram. Let's see, this one was really funny.
You illegal motherfucker! I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal motherfucker!
This really happened.
I'm calling Trump on you, you illegal motherfucker!
Can't even handle it. So, yeah, there's a lot of tensions going on in Los Angeles at the time. So this is from a guy named Royal Surf. Mongo video was Lord Bebo, posted that, by the way. Well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of some really cool AI videos. So I'm just going to play this. This is just a really quick recap. We're not going to get into it. We got to get into the bigger thing right now, but I'm sure you guys already, you in the States know what's going on. You've been watching all this stuff. It's been pretty crazy. So, yeah, it's pretty intense. If you guys are out there in Cali, you know, be careful. If you're in any major cities, yeah, just be chill, you know. People here ask me every day, do I miss LA? I do miss it. I miss California. California is really special place. It's really cool. But I really just love where I am. It's really amazing. William Dugan, what's happening, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. But if you guys are out there, you know, we're going into a crazy weekend. Apparently they're saying there are other things lined up for this weekend. So just be safe out there if you guys are in any big cities. You know, I might stream again tomorrow. This guy did another little video. Let's hear. This is from Elijah Schaffer. So this just came out today.
We're out here in the streets of Los Angeles, California, and you can see that the buildings are still boarded up. You have businesses on the right, such as UPS, even a fruit store over there. And business owners are saying that they're still expecting more unrest in the coming days after Gavin Newsom actually told the people of Los Angeles that it was their protesting and their violence per se that's actually causing Trump to reverse his immigration standards. So it's kind of interesting if you come down here. I mean, people are living like it's a normal day. There's basically no problems happening, but the businesses are still on high alert. And the police presence is insane. Several hundred police vehicles still in the city at this time, prepared for what, you know, many believe might be a second weekend. But the more important story today is if everything's peaceful and everything's fine, why is the city still boarded up? And why are the police still out like they're expecting something to happen? We're out here.
Yeah, I don't know. Are you guys hearing things in your areas? Are people boarding up? You guys are in some major cities. You know, it's funny where I am now. You would think that the world is just doing great. Everything is amazing out here. It's absolutely beautiful. Everybody's in a great mood. It's incredible. We don't notice any of this stuff out here. It's crazy. So we're gonna get into some stuff. Before we get into the charts, I want to look at a little bit about what's going on about the war, just to get some updates on it, because I'm getting updated too. It's all happening right now. And then we're going to get into the charts, and we're going to talk about what you can anticipate as conflict grows. And I don't think this is going to stop. I think we have started something that isn't going to end, well, it's not going to end good, no matter what. This is going to play out. They've had this plan for a long time, and I'm not going to get into any of that in this video, but I'll play you an interesting thing from this guy. He says, if a prince wanted to conquer a city, and I think he nails it here, and this will sum up everything from the riots, everything that you've been seeing pretty much over the last 20 years since, you know, the towers.
And the city does not want to be conquered, they would hate him. But if a prince wants to conquer a city, and the city does not want to be conquered, they would hate him. But if the prince pays criminals to kill cows, burn barns, smash windows, set things on fire, the people will panic in fear and cry out for help, and the prince will come in, get rid of the very criminals he bribed to create the problem. Nobody will know the better for it, and everyone will praise the prince as a hero. So it's good marketing. You create the need and fill it. You go around the back of the house and set it on fire, then you go around the front of the house and sell them a fire extinguisher. And they'll pay anything for it and even thank you for being there. So it's called Machiavellianism, where you create or capitalize on a crisis to consolidate control. If a prince wants to conquer a city, and the city does not want to be conquered, they would hate him.
I think he nailed it. You guys got that, right? I'll play it
But
again.
if the prince pays criminals to kill cows, burn barns, smash windows, set things on fire, the people will panic in fear and cry out for help, and the prince will come in, get rid of the very criminals he bribed to create the problem. Nobody will know the better for it, and everyone will praise the prince as a hero. So it's good marketing. You create the need and fill it. You go around the back of the house and set it on fire, then you go around the front of the house and sell them a fire extinguisher. And they'll pay anything for it and even thank you for being there. So it's called Machiavellianism, where you create or capitalize on a crisis to consolidate control.
Yeah, so I don't know who this is exactly. Let's see if somebody put it in there, because I hate it when they don't write it on the thing. Be kind of cool. VP Dick Cheney. I don't know who that is. If anyone knows who that is, throw it in the chat. Well, I'm kind of curious too, and I'm sure people are going to ask me as well.
Wants to conquer it.
So what's happening is, you know, they want to convert a lot of places into the new system. So some people are calling it the new Bolshevism. You can call it whatever you want. They can give it whatever name they want, but it's pretty obvious what they want to do. This is pretty crazy. You guys probably saw this one, right? I don't know what city that was in, but geez, this is on another level. This is on another level. I mean, you know, it's cute now, right? You can fast forward. Oh, is that? It's dramatic. This is the old, truth. Anyone says the city. They're out fishing. This was a Memorial Day parade in New York City. So this was in New York City, a Memorial Day parade. But it's pretty interesting, right? What they got coming. So I just typed in on two things on X. I typed in Iran and Israel on the other. So I'm curious to see what the feeds are giving us right now. So this was interesting. This was somebody summing up what all the politicians were posting when this started. And everybody was saying almost the same thing. Bombs away. A lot of people are just immediately saying Iran is an enemy of the free world. Now, I've never been attacked by Iran. I don't know why they're... Yeah, so this is really interesting. It's all the politicians are on the payroll. This is all part of an agenda to continue what they've been doing over in that part of the world. Let's see what else is in here. Now, once again, all I did was I just typed in the word Israel on top. I was curious what was going on. A lot of people are like, they want to pull us into a war. It seems obvious. This is how they all begin. So this is Tel Aviv, by the way, right now, what you're seeing. This is fucking Tel Aviv. So this is crazy. And I think this just happened. And now I did the same thing over here, just typed in Iran, so curious to see what's going on here. Let's see, what's up? Got a friend in the green room. A guy that killed 6 cops in Texas several years ago was killed by one of the robot dogs. What? Yo, Fast, what's going on, man? How are you? Good. Look, I don't remember how to work all this stuff anymore, so give me a second.
Take your time.
Oh, hang on. Let me put on preview mode. One sec while I figure this out. It's not that button. No, it's that button. Okay. Why are you like all zoomed in there? Oh.
Push.
Okay. There you go. All right, I'm going to punch in. Mr. Fast Abdul, how you doing? How you been?
Pretty good. It's been a while. How about you?
Good, man. Good. Doing really good. It's good to be back. Good to see you. Good to see everybody. Everybody's here today. Turk, Montana, what's happening? Iron Dome doesn't work. Can't stop ballistic missiles. Well, I think, they're being overwhelmed. That's why, they got the hypersonic missiles. Did you watch this pDAI? Yeah, I looked at the chart. We'll look at it in a second here. U.S. politicians loaded up on war stocks. Oh, did they? Okay. So obviously this was all planned. I mean, even chat was lit up about it. It's staged. It is, and I put that in Telegram. So that's why we don't want to panic. There is an agenda here. They're leading us down.
They do this every year or two, like Iran and Israel, right? Like, they've been talking about Iran having nuclear weapons for 30 years now.
No, man. They're raining down bombs on each other.
Yeah, it's not the first time. It's not like they were friends yesterday.
Yeah, dude, a hypersonic missile struck the middle of Tel Aviv, bro.
That might be a first.
He is definitely a first. Let's go. He's about to get involved next, is what they're saying. Let's see. There were some different... Yeah, you guys have probably seen all the videos. Let's see. Chinese one from man. Wow, that's crazy. Crazy looking. What's this? Yeah, I don't like that guy. Oh, there we go. Quick tune for our gig in Aranamore Island. A little something to cheer us up.
This is the real news.
Crypto is going to fix all this, guys. Don't worry about it. We got something. We got something for you. Yeah, the Irish maker. It says timeline full of panic about Israel and Iran. So here's some Irish women to cheer up your feed. Thanks, buddy. Is that Michael Keefe? Appreciate it, man.
Operation Rising Lion.
So this is Operation
Targeted
Rising Lion.
military operation to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival. This operation will continue for as many days as it takes to remove this threat. For decades, the tyrants of Tehran have brazenly, openly called for Israel's destruction. They've backed up their genocidal rhetoric with a program to develop nuclear weapons.
All right. They said I was a kid, you know, when they started Desert Storm in the 90s, right? And they said the same thing, that, you know, this guy had weapons of mass destruction and da-da-da-da. And, yeah, seems like same thing's happening all over again. So, well, what we're going to talk about, we're going to look at the charts. We're going to talk about how this is going to possibly affect the markets, what we can look
with Middle Eastern policy, then you must read Odin.
And how we can make the best of the situation, right? While everybody's panicked, right? Chaos is an opportunity. What is this? Occupied.
There's going to be a lot of propaganda on both sides, right?
Oh, big time. I wouldn't believe anything you see. Yeah, for sure. Well, look, the truth is this was Iran in the 70s, okay? And then the CIA toppled them, very similar to what happened in Russia in 1917. They go in, they topple, you know, whoever's kind of the local people, and then they put in their puppets, they put in their Bolsheviks. In Moscow, that was all funded by, all the money came from Manhattan, New York City, and same thing here. They funded and put in these extremists in there so they could create an enemy, extract oil, whatever it could. And
I think Iran was a nice place in the 70s. You know, like it was like they had universities, people traveled there. It was like, you know, it had culture, right? And it wasn't closed off to the rest of the world.
No, it was incredible. You can look up, you guys can go to Google and look up pictures of what it was before. And once again, the CIA has done this all over the world, right? Where they did this in Peru, then Pinochet. I mean, you can go on and on and on and on. Wherever they can do it, they do it. So, love matters. You're in Ireland. What's up, brother? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. So, yeah, this is going to continue, but I wouldn't get caught up. I'm not going to get too caught up in everything. I'm mostly concerned how it's going to affect us and what's going on. Now, really quick, we're going to look at Richard Hart's tweets as well. He's been tweeting a lot lately, putting up a lot of stuff besides working out, which has been really cool. He's warming up for July. What's the date that the end of the SEC's window to appeal? Because technically he can start streaming or saying what he wants.
I think it's somewhere around
July 7th, is it?
Yeah, they're right thereabouts, like 10 days into July.
Something like that, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So he's warming up. So somebody made a song. I don't know who this is. Josh Wu, Bad Rug. Did you guys see this?
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Okay, so he made this song. Let's listen to it.
Play Josh's song. He does a good job.
Have you heard it? You heard it already?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, chat. Make some noise. World premiere. Shout out to Josh Wu. It's called Bad Rug. Together we make it to Hexaco. Let me know if that sounds all right, Puff.
It's good.
Growing up in masses, small loops word, welcome back tomorrow. Fuck Gerardo, fuck Gerardo. These scammers took my money, these scammers took my bags. My girlfriend thinks I'm lying with the prices that I snagged. They knew that they would get me, the price action was fake. When degens run in circles, it's a very, very bad rug. Bad rug.
Help him out. Chat, help him out. Do some harmonies out there.
Their balance looks good. 14 more days, 2 weeks away. Remember when we all understood there was vision, not division. The bridge was open, I was nervous. Awesome new thing I'm pursuing. Hello, Richard, tell me what's my lesson? I'm done losing. I'm done losing. These scammers took my money. These scammers took my bags. My girlfriend thinks I'm lying with the prices that
Come on, smash the likes, pups. He's awesome. Smash it.
the price action was fake. When degens run in circles, it's a very, very bad rug. Bad rug. You fell for the rug. Bad rug.
It's not my favorite of his work, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it's all right. Everybody smash the like button. I actually wrote a song too. I wrote a song, and it's about, I think I wrote it about T-shares or something. I wrote it about, but I haven't played it in a long time. I'll brush it up. I'll brush it up, and I'll play it on the next live.
Wow.
On the next live. Let me see if I can. See if
This
I
is
can
a
remember.
first. You saw it here first, boys and girls.
I'm gonna do live. What's up, pups? I gotta it's a very hard song, actually. I wrote it. It's about staking hex, but I did it on. Here, let me see if I can remember. It's like. Does it go? How to tune it. All right, I had to brush it up. I had to brush it. I'll roll it out in the next stream. It's actually extraordinary.
I didn't know you could play guitar though. That's news to me. So yeah,
sometimes I play
That'd be
guitar, piano, bass, harmonica. I don't know, a little violin. If it's got
I
strings
used to
on
play
it.
the tuba in high school.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm just extraordinarily out of practice, and then obviously I just pick like the hardest guitar player ever to write a song to. Go fast, everybody. You guys know, that was a guy named John Mayer. I think it's John Mayer song. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but I need to practice.
I've heard of John Mayer.
Everybody smash the like button. We're going to get into it. We'll look at these Richard Hart tweets. All right. Where
He's
we
had
at?
some doozies.
Yeah, he's had some big one. Was there some in particular? Let me see. You talked about the bolts. Let's see.
Next one down from there, I think. Yeah, that
Okay.
one. That one's fire.
All right. Pulse chain. This is Mr. Richard Hart, by the way. Bro, what your thought on this video? I play the flute. Sandy, you play the flute? Oh, we should jam. We could do it live. You can do the lead to the John Mayer song. Actually, I renamed it. I think the real song's Why Georgia Why, and I rewrote the lyrics, so it's Why Richard Why. So I'll put it together and practice it here, and you can play the lead on the flute. All right, so this is Mr. Hartman. Oh, you play piano too? Oh, cool. Pulse chain, I keep telling you that what you have is already far better than it needs to be. It only needs marketing, and not limp, dick, weak, little, here and there marketing. Legendary, massive, never done before marketing. I speak confidently because I know exactly what such awesome marketing would look like. I tag my money Skelly and his squad to pleb beg for them to increase their marketing budgets since they published some data on how they want to use their ETH treasury.
He's talking about Vitalik there.
Ah, okay. And I ain't seen no marketing in it, lol. But as I've already said, competition in a marketing channel reduces responses. So like, why invite the competition? Yeah, I'd like Ethereum to go up, but I'd like Pulse Chain to go up even more. Imagine this. Ads appear. People that have never heard of amazing peer-to-peer free and open source software do. They see the opportunity. Users increase. Haters get mad. How dare someone advertise free open source reliable software to them? They post their butthurt amplifying reach. Users increase. Even the haters already in crypto think this thing might actually run. There's so much potential. Many rotate in, green candles beget green candles. The government money printer starts. I like the vision. The slingshot of suppression being released violently upwards, more and more butthurt from the sideline, more and more interest, because the majority of the world isn't in crypto Twitter. They're in the real physical world, waiting for the opportunity, waiting for the education, and I have this real good feeling that they'll learn, probably in under 2 months. We'll see. Okay. Oh, I made a thing on TikTok with this 2 months thing. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, he actually gives a timeline. They will learn. The word learn is interesting here too. They will learn in probably under 2 months. It's like, and he's talking about massive, a massive ad campaign, the likes of which nobody has ever seen before. So that's meaningful speech.
Yeah. There's definitely, he's giving you a bit of a timeline there. He's, he's hinting. He's letting you know, look, something's coming here, okay? And this was from June 8th, so that puts us in August now. I was saying quite a while back that July could be the bottom, and it's playing out that maybe it is. We get a little bit of a lull, and then maybe we do get ready for the fall. Things are going to get pretty heated pretty quick. He says, I'm curious to see how real massive marketing performs. As always, it's not I, but you, the community, that does these nice things. I'm just glad a few of you decided to get it done. Onward and upward. Cool. If you want
Very cool. It totally sounds like he knows something though, right? Like not like he's just like, oh yeah, something could happen in 2 months and it would look like this. Like he knows something's going to happen.
Right.
And when he says like, oh, it's not me, like that could be true, or it could be just like the standard disclaimer he's got to put on stuff to keep himself clean.
Yeah, 100%. And we have a lot of marketing. I mean, we have a lot of streamers out there, a lot of people making content, a lot of people that just make general crypto content have been talking about Pulse Chain, especially when the case was over. And I suppose he's letting you know that in 2 months, he's going to pick up the marketing as well. That's going to add a tremendous amount of momentum.
Yep.
And we're going to do what we keep doing too.
And he's kind of making fun of our tiny marketing efforts, suggesting that this won't be that, right? Like it's not going to be rinky dink. It's going to be freaking huge.
Yeah. So there's he might have something up his sleeve. He's getting ready to go. So this is great.
He may have hinted at what it is as well.
People don't like buy coins down for 2 years. Okay, let's see. What's he showing us
for
here?
2 years, up for 2 years.
Bitcoin is a rocket ship, man. It's been, yeah. So he's referring to Pulse Chain here. Cutting down to, he's showing you these are all 728 days, 819 days, 588 days before it ripped up. So, yeah. It's good. It's good. He's dropping some big hints. I mean, look, if you can't understand the asymmetric fucking opportunity here, I can't help you. This is an amazing opportunity. This is going to be life-changing for everybody. It's going to be really incredible. He is going to come back with a vengeance here. All right, let's see what's going on. Talks about inflation. Let's see. Talks about bolts and pricing. Talk more about inflation.
Talks a lot about bolts.
Yeah. Let's see. From possessing, you really are. Don't even really know. He talks about, I know more about the blockchain than you do. There's no such thing as custody. There's no such thing as self-custody. There's a thing called knowledge. You either know your seed words or you do not, period. That's it. You do not possess a thing. You know a thing. More than one person can know a thing. More than one person can be required to know more than one thing. Multi-sig. You can't even know all the things your seed words might have access to. You can't query all permutations of all derivation paths across all chains at infinite depth in the derivation constantly. It's like the halting problem. You can't even know when to stop searching, nor folks of chains your keys may have utility on already. I've told you this already 10 times or more, but I bet none of you are even smart enough to get it. Why don't you all lawyers and lawmakers read? I'm trying to educate you. Learn, man. It's really easy to understand. Why am I the only one explaining this? Am I the only one to understand it? You know some words. You don't possess a darn thing any more than you possess an idea.
I think he's trying to set a legal precedent there, right? Precedents there with saying that, like, yeah, you don't even know if you have money on a particular chain. Like, anybody can send money to any address. If you can have the keys, but it's just knowledge. It's not like you have that crypto. You could lose the keys. Somebody else could have the keys. Multiple people could have the keys. I think it creates a legal, gray area, which could be beneficial.
Is he talking more about him owning the ETH? Is that what he's kind of like? Is that what you're talking about? Or
I think it's just more general. Like, you can't prove this is mine. You can't prove that multiple people don't operate with this wallet. You can't prove that I even know that something is here. You can't prove that I still control it. Right? Like, there's anonymity in crypto, even if you have a doxed wallet involved, because of the keys, right?
Right,
like,
right.
How can you prove that no one knows a seed phrase except for you?
Okay, interesting. He says here, hey geniuses, how might one set up inbound call handling for educational peer-to-peer software call center? How do you keep reps from stealing the keys? Do you just have nice people log in remotely into an asterisk VoIP server? How do you check who went from nice to naughty? AI review call logs? Is AI voice ready to handle this kind of load? At least it won't try to scam people for their keys. Anyone actually doing AI customer service at scale? This is a problem every exchange faces. Any of them solve it worth a crap. What's he getting on about here?
I think this is stemming off of his tweet about 2 months from now, something big, advertising like you've never seen.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to make a crypto help desk for DeFi in general.
Really?
I'm making some assumptions there, but like he talks about it like, he talks about keys, so it can't be a centralized exchange, or that wouldn't be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
He talks about how do you keep reps from like stealing people's keys? Well, you could just use AI instead, or do you have the AI just review the reps calls, or and he's basically asking people like, what's the best way to do this? But I feel like it's, it could be just the Pulse Chain help desk, or it could be crypto in general help desk, which I think would be huge. That would be
Right.
mega advertising like we've never seen before.
Mm.
1-800 buy crypto. Hello, Richard Hart here. I'm going to help you buy crypto, right? Like that'd be pretty sweet.
That would be pretty sweet. Yeah, that would be very cool. You know, it's interesting. I had these headphones, these earbuds right here. You know, I don't want to open it. I'll scroll the stream. But like, I had an issue with them, so I called, or I was doing the online chat with the company or whatever, and they were helping me, and then the guy started asking me for the IEM number of my phone, whatever that is, EIM, or you guys know what I'm talking about, right? And
Like a unique identifier for your phone.
yeah, and I was like immediately suspicious, and I kind of figured out what the problem was with my thing, so I got off the thing, and I was like, all right, thanks, man, I gotta go. And I looked it up, and literally it's like, don't ever give away your IEM number because anybody can get into your phone.
So you can clone your phone.
Yeah, exactly. And he was same thing, a guy at a call center or chat desk who was seeing that I was like, needed help, and he's like, oh yeah, you know, I can help you, da-da-da-da-da. Look, the plug is here, but listen, give me your IEM number. I'm like, why do you need, and I asked him, I said, why do you need my cell phone identification number?
Nothing to do with your headphones.
Yeah. He's like, I can check some stuff. And then I was like, yeah, I got to go, man. And then, yeah, I looked it up, and I was like, whoa, that was a little scary, because a lot of people would just not think about it and, you know, give it out, right?
Hey, can he use that number to clone your phone? Is that the end result?
Yeah,
or?
100% he can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't give that out.
100%.
A lot of crypto is stolen that way, more from centralized exchanges and stuff where you have a login and so on and so forth. It wouldn't necessarily affect your DeFi, but yeah, I'm sure that's a scam.
Yeah.
But imagine if you could call like a number and like they would tell you like things like that, like, oh, a rep asked for my IME number. What's that about? Oh, well, sir, that's probably a scam. They can use it to do this. And like if AI can field that call and we'll never ask for your seed phrase and we'll never ask for your IME number, right?
Yeah.
Like it like if there's a centralized safe place to call and ask questions, not just about Pulse Chain, though I would like it to have a Pulse Chain tilt, but like crypto in general, right? Like, will the price of Bitcoin go up? Like, you know, it's going to give you an AI answer, you know, like, you know, but hopefully with a bit of a humor to it. Like, no one has a crystal ball, but this is what's happened in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it can give you information, like unbiased AI driven information with a human voice, ideally Richard's voice, because that'd be hilarious.
That would be.
But there could be real reps too, right? Like there could be, like you pay $500 to talk to a real person, you know, and only whales are going to do shit like that, right? Like it's going to be $1 million plus guys who are going to pay $500 for a 30-minute phone call with a human when they have endless, you know, free AI calls, right? But like, you want to talk to a human, you want to talk to a human about something specific. Maybe there could be like doxed individuals, you know, and it'd be recorded and everything. Those people would have to be KYC'd. They'd have to be, you know, very safe experts. But like AI, I think AI is ready. I think it could be done.
You think AI is ready?
Yeah, I've seen some good examples. Like, I think it needs to be pushed a little further, like than I've seen anywhere specific. But, you know, like there's definitely something happening.
Right.
You need huge power, right? Like you'd have to have like a big server block set up, and it would be it'd be a massive endeavor. It would cost millions of dollars, but I know a guy that has millions of dollars that might be able to do it.
All right, everybody out there, reach forward, smash that like button. We're about to get into some charts here. We're going to look at the charts, see where we're at, what we're looking at right now, upside, downside. We have, right now, 5,000 people watching the stream, looks like, but we only have 49 likes. We get those numbers up, pups. See a little bit of red on the screen, a little bit of red. I think there's a lot of uncertainty right now.
You're not sharing the screen.
I'm waiting for the likes to get up. We got to get some likes on the stream. I'm going to look at some charts. I'm going to find some music in the meantime. A little bit of music. Have you been streaming a lot lately? Fast?
I've been streaming less than usual for the past 2 weeks.
Okay.
Of course, I haven't seen you for a couple weeks, so there's that. But yeah, probably only once or twice a week. I've just been taking some time to touch grass. I'm building some stuff on my property, building a nice deck right on the water. You know, I want to set up like a streaming lab where like my background is a real background of like water and trees. I think that'd be cool.
It would be cool. That sounds great, man. Sounds really nice. The lake has unfrozen, has melted.
The lake is 100% unfrozen now. Still probably extremely cold by your standard, but the children are in there.
Good, man.
Fish
Makes
are in
it
there.
tough.
Catching
Makes it
fish.
tough.
Yep.
All right, let's go see what's going on. All right, so this is the exact chart I had up back in May, beginning of May. If you guys remember, we were, I think we were down here at 105, and then I drew this. I said we're going to hit, because I had these confluence lines up here. I haven't touched this chart since that stream. I think it was a couple of streams ago, beginning of May. I drew this drawing. I said we're going to hit 111. Let's see where I drew it to. Yeah, I knew we were going to hit that line. Yeah. So it's crazy how insanely it literally, I mean, I drew this up to what, 110 and a half. It hit 111. Right. It went right between two of my confluence lines right there. And then I put this in Telegram. So if you guys are on the Telegram, get in the Telegram, because I was updating people in Telegram. And then I drew this. So I'm curious now, looking back, you know, you can see that I drew that we were going to come back up and attack that confluence area again. Instead, we came down here and went to support. But it's funny because now we've come back. Not only did we come back to what I had drawn, but we hit it exactly. We recovered what I had drawn, we came across, and then we dropped right on the line that I had drawn. And you guys can go back a couple streams. I have not touched this chart. This is the exact chart I drew. And when I drew this, we were down here at 105. So none of this was here. And I drew this. So we came back. We've come back pretty much almost on the nose to what I drew. We've come back and recovered. And now we're pushing up on this line I drew. So, you know, I was anticipating that we would kind of be doing some fake outs into the summer. That's why I drew this. And then we would have probably a drop in July, which is where I drew this, or end of June. So going into July, which is where I expect the lows to be. But I don't expect a big collapse like I think a lot of people are anticipating. I think you're just going to get a nice juicy entry across the board on alts and everything. And then we're going to continue to push up. But what's going to hurt is a lot of people, I think, because of probably this war or whatever is going to escalate, they're going to make people feel like, yep, this is it, it's over. I don't think it's over. I do think after this, I still have this drawing that we come down. People are going to wait for lower targets. That's why I drew this sideways area. Remember, I drew this at the beginning of May, okay? Now we're almost in the middle of June. I drew this almost 6 weeks ago. So we wouldn't go to a support. That's what would mess people up. We'll probably go sideways at some odd spot, like we've done before in this bull run, making people feel like we're about to come back to one of these supports at least. But they're too obvious, you know, places to go to. Just like when we were down here, and we had this drop, and we only got one wick to 74, but everybody was like thinking we were going to go lower. I think we could have something weird like that up here, where we don't actually get to a really good support. We just kind of like dance sideways in some weird spot, and then we start moving up. Now, that doesn't have to happen just because we've stayed in this area. I drawn like, you know, we could start breaking up now, but yeah, you know, I'm just going to leave this on here. It's just one of my charts, and this is the one I drew live for you guys a couple shows back when I was still streaming. This is the one I drew back in like January or something. This is some weird stuff. I don't
Looks
remember.
like September is go time on that chart, eh?
On this one-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this will bring us to July just being where everyone's going to think it's over, but actually we start pushing up end of summer into the fall. Yeah, that was kind of why I did this. And then we have to look, you know, I'll give some ideas as we see. And now if this all plays out, at least, you know, it's crazy how we've met this and it's starting to play out. It's actually just creeping up this line I drew here. Let's see what happens. So right now you do have kind of you got a head and shoulders there, okay? And we can go ahead and just put it on there. It's not the cleanest looking thing, but this might be what people might anticipate. And look, it takes you right there to the support at 94, 95K. Does that happen? You know, it's funny. I was anticipating this when I was drawing this, when we were creating the support over here, when we were around 105, because the way we've been doing this bull run is a lot of these fake outs. So maybe we do have a drop, but it never quite makes it down to 95 or 94, what everyone maybe will expect it, or maybe you just get a little very light, fast wick there. And then we move up to like a strange spot, which is kind of how I'm just thinking about manipulation and market makers and the kind of moves they might make, right? But you can see clearly, what's this, like the 300 is going to come up to around this purple line where this drop meets, which is going to be about 95. Okay, so that would be obviously a place that you might expect support at that moving average. Well, let's go with this daily, or either one. What's this, the you can see the purple one moving up, and that one is the not purple, is the 100-day. That's going to meet this over here, this 95K region, if this plays out. But like I said, it doesn't have to, and I'm still going to, you know, keep an eye on kind of what I drew here. Maybe we just kind of like don't quite fall apart as low as people want, which keeps them waiting for a lower target, which then means they'll get left behind, right? People will see maybe a low here in July of, yeah, maybe it gets to 96, 95, 100, and they're going to wait for a lower target because of the war or whatever. But actually, maybe we end up pushing up. And, you know, I still have my higher targets up here. So I did not clean up my charts before I started this, guys. I just kind of wanted to just jump in really quick today. This is the chart I've had for a long time. You can see this is the a channel that's been running since 2022. Okay, we entered this channel in 2022, and I've got this channel. It's been up here forever, and every video I've had forever. And you can see we're still in the channel. We're beautifully in the channel. We kind of wicked out of it here, which scared everybody when we came down to 75K, which obviously was a great entry on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's still bullish. Dominance is still rocking. And the midline up here is about 120, 123, depending on when we go up and touch it. If, let's say, we start moving up around August, it'll be about 130-ish. Okay, that's the midline for this. The top of this channel is, you know, if we were to start moving up now, 150, 160. And then if we get into the fall, let's say we get into September, you're talking about 190, 200K, let's say, would easily go above that, right, to 200K, which is completely in the cards. Very possible. Very possible. Let's go look at BTC. Dominance, okay? So, to the chagrin of all of us in alts, it's just not showing any indications of slowing down. I think it could still push up a little more, but maybe we're getting closer to that place finally where we can start to commit to something here where, okay, it's coming to the end here, Bitcoin dominance, right? Like, look at this ascending wedge. I mean, that looks bearish as fuck. So at some point, this is going to fall apart. At some point here, let's see what we got here in the month. Yeah, I think
but probably not tomorrow, right? Like, no. It's not, no. The end is not here. Oh no, Bitcoin's $105,000. What will we do?
No, I think there's still a little bit more juice in this Bitcoin dominance. I think it can push up a little more. I think this can stay up here heated a little more. If you look here on the weekly on this even MACD, I mean, it could certainly keep going up more. No, it's quite strong. It's quite strong. Let me zoom out a little bit here. See where we're at. Okay, so if you look here at this UGW, where we topped out, if you look here, this is September 19th. Well, this was probably because of the zombie apocalypse, but it really topped out, what is this, the 20th? December of the 2020. Okay, and I guess that's when Ethereum and altcoins were probably started to go nuts. You can see it fell apart and double topped right at this line, which is a 71, 72%, 73% area, okay? Right now we are on Bitcoin dominance, we're at about 64, 65%. I do think we can get higher. Maybe, who knows, maybe we do touch again, you know? I mean, for sure, the closer we get, the more bullish I'm getting on alts and ETH. I don't think we're going above this purple line at 71, 72%. It could even fall apart sooner. Maybe it falls apart at 67. Maybe it just has a little bit more to go. But we're going to keep our eye on that because I think now we're getting close. I do think we're getting close now. And maybe that happens in August. Bitcoin could, like, it's moving pretty good. It's moving pretty strong. And let's say that we have a little weakness here in June and July because of the news and whatever. Obviously, people are going to be accumulating who are smart because I do think we got more to go. Then we push up in September, August, September. That could be the top for Bitcoin. That could be the top. And then, you know, September, ETH takes over and altcoins start ripping. You know, I could absolutely see that happening. Absolutely see that happening. That, you know, strength is really coming in by August into alts and ETH, and then September, BTC tops, August, September maybe, you know, and things just go absolutely berserker mode right into.
We have like a 3-month window where it was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, everything could happen in 2 months. You know, if you guys have been in these bull runs before, it could all happen in 2 months. You can blink and you'll miss it. It could just be, it's going to be so crazy if you've never been through a bull run, like emotionally, like, it's just going to rip. And then this will fall away, right? But I do think there's more juice here in the tank. Maybe it gets up here to like 67, 68, 69, like somewhere like right around here. A little bit more. But I don't want to make any promises. I mean, maybe it does touch this line again. It's possible, right? It's possible. Let's go look at ETH. Let's go look at ETH. Well, I do want to see that DJT. So this is DJT. Remember we were looking at this before, and I said this is one of the things you want to worry about. So we don't have closure yet on this. But right now we have a big, juicy inverse head and shoulders on the Dow Jones Transportation Index. This has not broken this line yet. Now, no promises. We don't know what this weekend's going to bring or June. Obviously, we got a lot of crazy stuff planned for this weekend, possible protests. You know, things are heating up with Iran and Israel. So this could absolutely, you know, break this and start falling, which means that things are going to slow down here. But right now, it looks very bullish. That means the economy, the fundamentals of the economy are very strong, okay? And this is an inverse head and shoulders. This is very strong, and you've got a target right up here of 17,800, which is where we topped back in November of 2024, if you remember the bull run. Okay, you remember bull run, how crazy and euphoric things were at the end of 2024, November, December. Yep. So this looks like if it plays out, it would be a double top there. And maybe that's when, you know, things start falling apart, because things could start falling apart in September, Bitcoin tops, and you still get an altcoin season, right? Bitcoin could be heading into its bear market. Alts and ETH could be taking off. You got to keep that in mind. So just because the bear market starts officially and it looks like we're heading into a recession, you could still have 2 months of an epic. That's when you're going to have your epic bull run, right? That's when you're going to get all blow off tops and everything. So keep that in mind. If this plays out, that could be something like that, because it does target right there. Let's go look at USDT dominance. The stock market's all pushing up. It's all very bullish, but, you know, it is what it is, right? I do think if we get a big pullback, it could be around when BTC tops. That would make a lot of sense to me. So, you know, September, October is the technical top. If you were to, you know, just do an average of bull runs top to top, it would be about October-ish of 2025. So maybe it just comes a little bit faster in September. And the stock market obviously is going to push up too, maybe slowly creep into the end of summer and then also blow off top in September or October, and maybe have another juicy pullback before we continue. And I do think we are going to continue. I do think there's a fifth wave, just to give you guys an idea, because a lot of people are going to tote depression ideas that we're about to go into this multi-year depression. I don't think it comes yet. I think we could get like a 3 to 6 months recession, Okay, we just get a little short one, and then 2027 is going to be fireworks, man. I do think this fifth wave is coming. Okay, maybe this pushes up again, has a little blow off. We come down again, find some support somewhere, and then we're going to push up until maybe 2028, 2029, 2030. There's going to be something's going to extend this thing because, and this comes back to the war, whatever. So maybe the war, the tensions just stay brewing for a few months, and then maybe it really escalates, and that's what causes it time. Usually these things time with blow off tops, like Bitcoin tops. It just so happens to be around the time that it looks like maybe the war is escalating or whatever, and things fizzle out for a little bit. But that gives the government that excuse to start printing. Well, they go, well, we need to send reinforcements to the Persian Gulf or whatever, blah, blah, blah. They're going to say they need to print, okay? And I know people have talked about, like, are they going to do a surprise rate cut this summer or whatever? Maybe, maybe not. But I think the printer goes burr maybe in the fall or a little bit later, because there has to be something that maybe happens to give them that excuse to do it. I think, but who knows, right? But maybe that times well with this kind of mini cycle wrapping up. I think people will go away thinking that it's over for like years, but I don't think so. I think we'll have just like a mini recession, and then I think things might rip up again, just like they did during the zombie apocalypse. And I'm not going to go back to like every war we've had, but just so you guys know, when you have these events and they're building up, they're scary, and then you usually have something that snaps or breaks, just like with the zombie thing, where it was kind of building up for a while, and then they finally were like, okay, we're going to shut down the world. And then there was this crash. But how long was it? Just look. You can come here and you can look at from the crash to when it recovered was 188 days. So what's that? 6 months, let's say, right? That's it. And then look what markets did after that, right? They went nuts. So you might have something where this fall we have a bit of a blow off top, or things peak out, but then maybe you just have a rocky 3 to 6 months after. And then things surprise everybody by picking up again because they're going to stimulate, or they print money or whatever. They're not just going to
They need an excuse to print money, right?
Exactly.
And like the war in Iran, Israel could be the excuse to print money.
Mm-hmm.
It could all play into the same theme.
Yeah. Somehow they'll tie it all together, and they'll do it. They probably do need a little something, but maybe it's like 3 months, and that's what might catch everybody off guard. Because we have talked a lot about this cycle could go on much longer than people realize. They'll call it a super cycle, whatever. I still believe it's possible that they find some excuse to print. They do print, and the bear market isn't quite a bear market. It's just like a little mini recession, and then we just keep cranking into 2026 or 2027, right? So maybe in 2026, the beginning, there's some, blah, 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 whatever, right? But they're short, okay? And everybody's already printing money. M2's already up, okay? So, yeah, I don't think we're quite ready for this long extended thing. I'm still betting that we have some craziness into, there's more left. But we may get a little mini 3-month thing at some point, maybe in the fall or beginning of next year. Let's see what happens. We don't know yet. Let's go to USDT dominance really quick. We'll look at Pulse. All right. So you guys know USDT dominance comes up against here. I'll zoom out for you guys really quick that haven't seen this before.
That's the one we want to go down, right?
Yes, we want this to fall apart. So this is stablecoin dominance. So stablecoins are up when we are down, and vice versa. So it's been dancing on this line since 2018. The bear markets are the tops here. Okay, so this is September of 2022. Okay. And then we are now down here. Is a lot of money's been deployed. And what we want to see is this fall apart and really break this trend line here, which I'll make a little stronger. Okay, so we want to break this trend line down here and fall apart. And we've just been dancing. Right? We're kind of dancing on it. Obviously, we want to see this happen. Just not a good drawing. But yeah, we want to see if we dance. Yeah, we want to go down. That would be amazing. That would be an epic bull run right there. If that happened, that would be epic. Well, yeah, what we don't want to see happen is stablecoins get stronger and start heading that way. That would mean a bear market's coming. We're in a bear market, right? But so far, we're looking good. I think we're looking good. This is looking weak to me. This looks like it's been rejected. It's dancing on a trend line. It looks like it's about to fall apart anytime. And maybe that does time us well with July, August being time for liftoff, right? That times really well. This could just dance along here and then pop, just falls, right? So I'm ready for that. Yeah, Turk says 2026 is bear market. Yeah, so maybe we get that mini. Maybe we have this fall is going to be epic. Bitcoin tops out September, October maybe. We just rip into the end of the year and then pop. Something happens and we go into a little mini recession. But whatever that is that happened is the excuse to print money. And the recession is not going to be a depression like everybody's anticipating. It actually is just going to be this mini thing. They print money and we start ripping again. So that may be your only rest you're going to get, maybe that little break. Now, this is just speculation. We don't know. Maybe it's bad and it's a bear market for 2 years. I don't know for sure. But I have a feeling that it's not. It's going to be like a little bear market. Everyone will think the world's over, and it'll be like the zombie thing, and we'll just start ripping again. That's my hope, and I do think that is going to happen. I think 2027 is going to be a surprise year. I think it's going to be a crazy year, bullish year. Let's go look at ETH. ETH got up above 2,800. If you guys remember, I said many times we need to get above 27, and then 28 is when we get strong. We came up to this line. I did move this line slightly from, in full disclosure, from the last stream. So this one did get moved a little bit, so I was playing with it. Now, you can see...
It's okay to change your worldview.
Yeah, well, we had this big, strong move up above here, and I was just playing with this resistance. But look, people probably get really... I said we need to get a strong close above this range. And I said that. You can't just wick above here and then go all in, go long, you know? Like, we need to get above 2,800 and have like a weekly candle. We need to close above it in a strong way. That is going to be that is your clue. And we hit it multiple times, rejected at 27, 60, because it's getting higher, right? That resistance. This time we got into the 2,800, and I posted on the Telegram. We're above 28, but look, bam, immediately just mad rejection at 28.80, and we fell all the way down to 24 something, right? So now we're at 25.55. So we're back in this sideways range. Now this squiggle.
Part of that's just today's FUD, though, right?
Yeah. Now this thing I drew at the beginning of May, the same time I think I drew that thing on BTC that did play out pretty well. Like, you know, I mean, so far it's been playing out pretty good for drawing this in May. I drew this. So we'll see if this plays out. I don't know. This would be ETH coming back to test a low, which I don't think it's going to come down this low, but this would be your June, July low, and then we'll rip up. I don't see us coming down that low now. But I do think we could scare everybody, and then we come back up, and then once again pop by end of August, September, we start rocketing up. That could be one way, one way to think about it. But obviously, your bags, you need to be accumulating now, between now, obviously. The Hart man already gave you a timeline. He's saying 2 months, and I don't think he's kidding, because everything does seem to line up well for me going into August, or end of July, August, that we're going to start strengthening. And the beginning moves are going to be the biggest moves. They're going to be the lockout moves. Okay, they're going to make you hurt the most if you miss those. So you want to be doing your DCAing and at least all your research, know where you're at, what you're looking at, what looks good to you. What's up, Moonmutt? It's good to be back, man. They've been having Bilderberg meeting in my hometown, Stockholm, all week. Yes, I saw the list for the Bilderberg group. Did you guys see the meeting points, what they're talking about? It's pretty messed up. The last point on there says depopulation agenda. It's crazy.
Here.
Walking by the Grand Hotel every day, seeing the police guard tilt on. Do they have, Hans, can you see the signs up? Do they put what they have? Because I saw the Bilderberg thing, what they're discussing. It was pretty creepy. All right. Let's go look at Pulse. Now we got 66 likes on the stream. Let's get that up to at least 300.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then we can get it into Pulse Chain. I'm going to get into it.
The dips on Pulse Chain are almost 100% correlated with the dips on Ethereum today, eh?
We are connected to ETH quite a bit, right?
Looks pretty close.
I do think ETH is going to go lower. I don't know if it goes all the way back down here to the Drew 21.5, but we got this crazy candle here. We've already broken the support with a nice wick there. It is Friday the 13th, so, and this isn't the prettiest looking formation here, so maybe it does need to come back and fill some of this down here. You know, hell, it could come all the way down to 2K. It could. You know, when you see BlackRock buying like $100 million of ETH, sure, they're bullish on ETH. Everyone's getting bullish on ETH. You'd have to be retarded not to understand the opportunity with ETH. Like, it's just been smashed down so long, right? But they may be wanting to buy a lot more ETH than you realize, but they can't buy it all at one time. So they may be buying 100 million, 50 million. And then when they get this last capitulation, when newbies start dumping out of fear of whatever they're going to have, that'll come here in end of June or July. I think there's going to be a last kind of fear thing. That's when they can buy another 100, 200 million. Maybe they go in to buy 300 million. They'll buy a lot, right? But they're going to shake the tree. So they're DCAing right now. It's just their DCAing is 100 million at a time or 50 million at a time, right? So you got to understand that they may have more buy orders coming in through this range before we actually rip. Now you can see if it does this formation that I drew, it would be an inverse head and shoulders, okay, which is very bullish. So you just come across like this. And once again, this is pretty rough, but these are kind of things I kind of anticipate when I'm drawing, you know. So you come down here, everyone will get scared shitless. Maybe they'll bring it down really low to make everybody think, fuck, you know, ETH is screwed, you know, it's over. But that's when they'll put in their big DCA buy orders. It'll come back up, big lockout move. You'll get a little bump like this, big inverse head and shoulders right here. And this pop right here, I'm like really doing some crazy. This is just off my drawing. I don't know if it's going to go there, guys. You know,
you'd face some slippage on a $50 million DCA, I imagine, eh?
Yeah. So they can't buy all the ETH they want in one go. They got to do these in big hiccups. Everyone thinks, oh, they bought 100 million, must mean we're moving up now. No, man, they're going to buy a range. So they're going to buy some at 26. They'll buy some at 2,000. Hey, if they really get it to crash down in some fear and they get it down to 16 or maybe 18, 1900 again, they're going to buy more. They're going to buy all through this range. That's how they do it. Okay. And then this move out of here, if it does what I drew literally 6 weeks ago, it's going to bring you up to about 3,400 on this move. That's going to be when it plays with this line, and then we're going to pop. It'll be crazy bullish. And that's when people will be like, oh, it's going up. I missed it. Because this will happen quick, guys. The reason this will happen quick is because it's going to be filled with a lot of emotion. Obviously, you see we're already on Friday the 13th, World War III, blah, blah, blah. All the narratives are headlines like LA is on fire. The Middle East is on fire, blah, who knows what it's going to be next in a couple weeks. So it'll fly by. And that's when the smart money will keep DCAing and buying through all that fear, okay? All that fear, which I think we're going to have seems like a summer of fear, it looks like, right? But this is your clue that we're probably going up, not down, okay? So this is probably all your DCA range. So you're going to get some opportunities here for all your alts, your ETH, whatever. And you should be okay that if we just pop up in July and surprise everybody and just get bullish, you should be ready for that too. This isn't set in gold. We don't know. I'm just anticipating this I always try to think like a market maker, or like how would AI try to fake everybody out? And yeah, I could see this happening, and you'd get this like beautiful triangle moving up. Yeah, I could see this going on because this would be super bullish. You'd have like a bunch of big inverse head and shoulders. You'd have kind of like big cup and handles here. Yeah, this would be really good. So let's see if this plays out. Once again, I drew this 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. I don't remember. I'm still leaving it up there because it looks like it could happen. Let's go look. Pulse here. All right, so Pulse, what's going on? We were moving up. We were looking great. See this line right here? This is an important line for me, okay? So we're moving up this line. We showed some weakness here. We got above it, and we fell below it again. That's very weak. That's not good at all. So now I have to draw in this head and shoulders, which is right here, which is not pretty at all. Okay, doesn't mean it has to happen. There's low liquidity and very smart market makers on Pulse Chain, so anything's possible. But if this plays out, we're coming back down here to make a new low. Okay, that's if this plays out. Now, what's interesting about this? I think I had done this on log, right? It's really interesting here. Yeah, you get almost like a double bottom situation there, and it would land right on this support that I have. So you'd get this beautiful W if that happened. And what's interesting, and I'm going to go back to this. You guys have seen this before, because I drew this in January. I drew this on I did this live on January 6th, but you guys know I was drawing this actually way back in December. Okay, January 6th, I drew this. Okay, it's one of my drawings. Okay, and if you zoom in, I drew a W as the very end of the formation for Pulse Chain. Okay, and I drew one knockdown coming up to the support line, which was a long-going support of 2 years, being rejected and making a lower low. What we did was we actually went past the support higher, but it looks like we're coming back down to possibly make that other end of that W. If you look, if this does play out, right, you're going to get that W. So that would be crazy, because that would mean my prediction from there would be correct. You know, and then it would be rocket ships, right? Because this would probably be time with the end of June. You can imagine now Hartman is about to start streaming in July, so that would mark your bottom, right? But it would fall apart, because there would be you have to imagine there would probably be enough fear, or ETH would start coming down enough to scare this kind of stuff. Now, none of this has to happen, but you know, we are looking at a bit of a bearish formation here. It could come down, but you have a lot of support down here. You've also got this double bottom here where we came down to 0.000016. And once again, I drew this in January that I was expecting a W, and if it happens, I'm not freaked out, because I've been anticipating this for months. Because when you look at a lot of altcoins, they do things like this, and then Richard Hart, you know, we already see a lot of big juicy W's. He likes these V bottoms, you know, they come off the bottom very sharp on his project. You can look at the hex chart, same thing. So if we do come down, we don't know where we're going to come down. Could be a lower low. Obviously, the drawing I made in January shows that the last move is the lower low, which would make a lot of sense, because that would be the most scary, because then you don't know how low we're going, and then people don't always buy it. You don't know where that bottom is, so a lot of alts will do that before they rip big time. And then once we touch down, wherever this is going to be, maybe it's a higher low, maybe we do a double bottom, maybe it's a lower low. If any of this happens, we'll probably do a massive lockout move out of there. I don't see us like going sideways if we were to come down again. I think we're going to come down, and it's just going to be like, I think it would be just a massive spring out of there, kind of similar to what I drew here, you know, where it's just going to pop. And so, yeah, smash the like button if you guys are liking some of this stuff. When I draw this stuff, and I'm doing it months in advance, I really put my ass on the line for ridicule, for condemnation, for everything, because, you know, people see my work, you know, so I really do put it out there. You know what I mean? I literally I'm getting in the octagon when I do this shit, right? I'm putting my ass on the line, and I share it with you guys. So I hope you guys appreciate all this, TA, and forward thinking. And obviously, as we get bullish, my lines are going to get more bullish. I wasn't trying to be, you know, a nasty bear here. This is just genuinely what I saw when I was drawing this back then. I was like, this. See, like, a chart has energy, and you can't just go up from anywhere on a chart. It just doesn't work like that. You can see it in everything from Hex, all altcoins, Floki. I've done analysis Floki to show you guys how the market makers move. There's just a way they move, and when you have, you know, moves like this, there's no way this was going to go up. It just didn't make sense to me. Pointing down, all the energy of the move was down. I was just really seeing this. And sometimes when I'm drawing, same thing, when I'm seeing these formations, I'm genuinely looking at them. Now, anything can happen. It's volatile. This is not a perfect science. Even here, I didn't nail this perfect. You know, we are tracking perfectly now, but you can see here for a couple weeks, you know, I was off. We came down instead of going through here. But I leave the drawing up because you can see we came right back to what I had drawn, right? Because you can see these things ahead of time. You can see what a chart is going to do based on what it's done when you look left, because you can see the fingerprints of the market maker. You know, you can see their fingerprints, okay? You know, Richard Hart has a fingerprint of his charts. And when you analyze all his charts, you'll start to understand why when I see these things, I can kind of make an assumption what could happen. Now, it didn't have to happen. I can be caught off guard too. It's trading, but that's what I draw for you guys. Yeah, and that's it, man. Put it out there raw. Just putting it out there raw and dirty.
Nice.
So let's go look at Pulse X. See what's going on. I have not looked at PulseX in forever. I just know it's always strong. Yeah, it's just doing fine. It's hanging out. We got a reversal doji there on the weekly. It does look like it wants to come down. We can go ahead and put some lines on here. Same thing. You kind of got some weakening of the... if I take those out, I mean, it could be just holding up kind of too, right? Yeah, but, you know, this looks kind of bearish too. So obviously if ETH or Pulse looks like it's going to slip a little bit, yeah, you can see the MACD coming down here on the weekly, turning over there. So this could come down a little bit, but PulseX looks very strong. It's above a ton of support. It's been holding up really great for a long time. We can come over here to the, what is it, PulseX? Let's see what's going on. Damn. It just keeps going. Keeps going. Crispy, what's up, brother? How are you? Deerslayer, what's happening, man? Tripod, isn't RH still on Interpol watch? Would he stream? Yeah, that doesn't affect him streaming. What matters for that is the SEC thing being wrapped up, man, which it does wrap up somewhere in the beginning of July. What's up, Mike Crypt? How's it going, man? Crispy, there's a link in the Telegram if you want to join. But yeah, look, man, PulseX is amazing. The tokenomics, everything about it looks phenomenal. This doesn't look that great right now, but this is good for Pulse. I do hope... I think when Pulse does go, this is going to have to make room for it. So maybe this finally it comes down here, or maybe it breaks below this a little bit. Let's see what happens. But PulseX is not giving anything to Pulse right now, or forever. It hasn't since beginning of 2024. It's just, it's awesome, awesome. Looking great, man. Looking really good. I'm gonna put together price target videos too. If we get enough likes on the stream, we'll start to put together some price target videos for you guys, and I will do drawings for them as well with what I see. All right, Ink 144. We love Ink. Ink, we love you. We love you.
Yeah.
Ink is.
What do you think? Is the bottom in on Ink, or the local bottom, or where are we going?
Okay, so. I drew, okay, this is another one of my drawings. I drew this like beginning of May as well. And I'm just going to slide it up. Now, this is uncanny. I drew this live. We can go back to the video. This is not made up. You guys remember, some of you guys that watched that stream, you guys remember I drew this in green. All I did was I took it and I slid it down, okay? I'm sliding it back up. Now look at that. Now I drew this. Actually, I drew this earlier. This was from an earlier video. I drew this when we fell into this range. So I think I drew this probably when we touched down. So I'm guessing April. I fucking drew this in April. Okay, we'll have to go back and check when I drew this. So this is ridiculous. Now, obviously it's not perfect, but I drew that it would make, dude, this is ridiculous. This area right here, how it's matching up so perfect right there. Holy shit. That is ridiculous. So I said we'd go sideways and up. And this hump got a little bigger, but it would come back down, which we've done, and we're showing a lot of weakness right here. I guess it would probably like that or something. Oh no, I didn't. We didn't have this support yet made out. Yeah, I think we had just touched down here, so it was probably more like this is what I had when you go back when actually on the stream. So this would be also the July low, right? That July lull, and right now we're showing a lot of weakness right here. Now we are above support. We're looking all right. We're looking okay right now, but it doesn't look very strong to me. Just when I look at the candles in the wick. I mean, we can come down here and see what's cooking down here on the MACD. Tell me a whole lot. I was doodling down here too with the RSI. Yeah, so I was just playing around. Maybe I'll leave that. Yeah, stock RSI looks. Yeah, obviously this is tied to the rest of the ecosystem. You've got on the weekly, you've got this crazy gravestone doji right there. Now, once again, low liquidity, altcoin, $80 million market cap. It doesn't have to obey this, but that's not a pretty candle at all. So I expect some downside. If this continues a little bit more, that'd be crazy if this plays out. I think I drew this one literally in April is when I drew this. So that would be nuts because we've been obeying this right on. I mean, if I slide it up a little bit, it just looks uncanny. That's ridiculous. So this doji plays out. We are going to follow down right down here. Now, I drew this coming to an odd place. I think I drew it here in between these because I do think there might be some juicy fake outs. I wouldn't rely on too many supports and resistance clearly, though it could hit some of these.
Is that about $1, that dip?
This dip is 75 cents. I think when I drew this, I remember thinking 80 cents. So let me put it at 80 because I think that's where I drew it. I remember that price was in my head. Yeah, because I think
there's a lot of support at $1 for ink.
There's a lot of support on $1 for ink for sure, but you can't.
It was almost a stable coin for a while.
It would be too generous to it. It's nice. It's only because I've studied a lot of altcoin charts. Now, none of this has to happen now because obviously Richard Hart's coming in July, so there might be too much already bullish anticipation and what have you. But if you look at XRP, if you look at Floki, if you look at all these, before there's a big move, there's always one last good are you sure you want to hold this? Are you sure? So that's why I put 80 cents when I drew this, because I'm like, we're going to go right under where most people would probably feel comfortable, right? So when you get it under $1, that's when discomfort sets in, and that's what market makers like. Market makers, they have to give you discomfort, just like they give you euphoria at the tops. It goes higher than you think. It always goes a little bit lower than you think. Now, it could go even lower. It could come all the way down to 60 cents. I have really strong support down here. This was never tested. This whole area right here is a big problem for me because some of this stuff wasn't tested at all. Doesn't have to happen. Doesn't have to happen. I would be really happy with the chart only as like a fundamental point of view. If we came back and hit like 60, 65 cents, I would be very happy with it. I'd be like, wow, this is fucking strong. We've really tested everything. That's why I have lines down here. 40 cents is obviously just the bottom we had before, but 60, 65 cents is like an area that if we touched, I would feel like, wow, okay, very strong chart move. But even down here to 80 cents, 75, 80 cents, I would be happy with that. I'd be like, cool, we've tested some of this stuff. I don't like these vector candles. Like, this is just nuts right here. This would scare me the whole time we'd move up too, because I'd be like, this is untested. So yeah, I think if it got down to at least 80 to 90 cents, just below $1, I'd be really happy with that. Maybe to like 80 cents, I would be very happy. But 60 cents, awesome, off to the races. But knowing the fingerprint of this market maker, he'll reverse it at a weird spot. It could reverse at a weird spot. So that's why I think I put this turn there, right below the $1 mark, where everyone's kind of comfortable, right? But it looks good. I think we're coming to the end. As you can see, I'm also very bullish on my drawings very soon on everything I've shown you guys. I'm not saying this is going to play out. I made this drawing, I think 2 months ago, but I moved it up because it's kind of crazy how well it's playing out. But I don't want to freak you guys out. I'll leave this down for now. I know you guys don't want to hear any more down targets, but look, man, I draw what I see. I draw what I see. That's it. When it comes to charts, yeah, I can't lie, man. It's what I was saying.
Yeah, not lying. That's a big flaw in crypto, you know? People want you to lie all the time.
Oh, yeah.
I have lots of people asking me to lie.
When we get bullish, I'll lie to you guys. Of course. We're going up. We are going to go up.
There we go.
We're going to go up to infinity.
Hey, quick question, Wolf. I'm
Yeah.
I'm not seeing the super chat option on here. What's up with the super chats?
Oh, I haven't been back for a second. I wonder if they you think they
You
turned
took
it
a
off?
week off and they demonetize you? What the hell?
Oh, shit, bro.
Let's track them down.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I can check it out really quick.
Might just be something in the settings.
You guys think about what chart you want to see next. We did ink. We're gonna look at Hex. We're gonna look at Hex really quick. And then do you guys smash the like button? Let's get it up to 100 likes. We're at 82 right now. Let's try to go for 100 while I find this thing really quick here. How many people are watching right now? It says no restrictions on it. Oh yeah, because they haven't sent me this thing. I have to verify my address or something. So YouTube's just keeping all the money right now.
But there's not even there's not like the normal bribe super chat boxes in there.
Oh.
It's just got the heart and the emoji.
Oh, you're right, bro.
Yeah, maybe they want you to KYC something.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks for the heads up.
Somebody wanted to send you. I didn't actually notice. Somebody else wanted to send a super chat, and they DM me, and they're like, "Can I send a super chat?" I'm like, "Of course you can," but then I checked, and they can't.
You guys are awesome.
Sure, I'm sure it's sortable. You're not. You won't be blacklisted.
Wow. Actually, I got a decent amount of earnings in there. You're no longer showing ads because the address verification process wasn't completed. All right, yeah. So they're having trouble getting me the mail thing, but I'll sort it out. I think they have to resend a thing to me again, yeah, I'll be able to sort it out. We'll see what's going on. Thanks for the heads up.
I sent you a message in the private from the concerned party who was trying to super chat.
Oh, okay, cool. You guys are amazing.
Yeah, it's good they're thinking of you.
You guys are awesome. Yeah. It's good. So we got a couple people watching. We got a few more likes coming in here. Pulse X supply we burnt. Turk Montana says by 2028, about half the Pulse X supply could be burnt. I think so. Whether it's
cool.
pump tires, Wowzer, 10x 53. Wow, that would be amazing. I think Pulse X is really going to be amazing. So
you could do some improvements that would make it fly, and it's not that big a deal, right? Like as far as the tech goes,
yeah.
Like for him to add in like a DAO option where you're voting for stuff using either Ink or PulseX as the voting token, to add in like privacy pools, like more privacy options on PulseX, like all this tech is here, and it wouldn't be that big a deal. Or even do some sort of like more interesting upgrade that isn't, again, is normal tech, like adding V3, right? You could totally add V3. 9inch already did it. They're basically the same thing as PulseX. Probably take his devs a weekend. But the news would be huge. Like if PulseX had V3 tomorrow, you'd see like, I can't guarantee, but I think you'd see a 20-30% pump in price right there.
Nice. Be amazing. Okay, we're gonna go look at. So we're looking good, man. We're looking good. We're at about 43.
Yeah, nice.
Once again, you should be ready for volatility come June, July, which I was already anticipating months ago. From all my drawings you guys have seen, right? So this seems to kind of be playing out right now. So this is uncanny. This is literally uncanny if this plays out. I'm not fucking. But August, September, yeah. Let's see. I know some traders are all away from their desks, like starting in July. So they definitely didn't get the memo that, whatever. So. All right, let's go to EHEX. What's going on? What is going on? I haven't looked at this chart in forever. So we're hanging out. Same thing. Seems like we got pretty much a very bearish looking pattern right now, just like very similar to what we've seen across the board with these head and shoulders. You got one right here. We've maintained.
Which is this? Is this Hex on Ethereum or Pulse Chain?
Ethereum, yeah.
Ethereum, okay.
0.002 cents, and looking like could go lower. I have to do it really quick, I guess. Yeah, we'll bring you back down to here, 0.0, like 1 penny. Bring you back down to a penny. If that happened, if that played out, it doesn't have to play out, but markets are all spooked right now, so everything's taking a bit of a hit. Go ahead and put this line there. I don't know what the fuck is this line. Oh, was I drawing this? Oh, let's get.
It'll be more closely tied to Ethereum than any other, Richard Hart asset, probably. Yeah.
Say that again.
Hex on Ethereum is probably more closely tied to Ethereum than other Richard Hart assets.
Yeah, that too, right? This is definitely tied to Ethereum big time. So not bad. I think we got a nice juicy falling wedge here. So if we did come down, you got a ton of support at 0.0011 if you touch the bottom of this, or like 1 cent is the bottom of this channel. So that does, and look at that. That would be the middle of July, literally, or beginning of July. You could hit 0.0011 or something like that, right? But then I would say that you'd probably break out of here, going into the fall, right? End of the summer, end of the fall, because this is looks like a bullish pattern, but right now short term looks a little bearish to me. So you may get another chance to get a little bit of hex again, and once again you're gonna get jeez. Crazy, man. Oh, yeah, short of the market getting very bullish, we could get another little bullish because the event happened being today or whatever. Market's got a little weak, so maybe next week is bullish again until the next little retaliation or whatever it is. But we got to see what happens this weekend too. Looks like a lot of craziness is planned for this weekend, and we're gonna find out. But maybe the bottoms are gonna come in sooner. Maybe they're gonna come in the end of this month, and then you got to be buying. But this could also turn into a quick an inverse head and shoulders right here as well, which would be quite strong depending on what this does. Yeah, it could 100% turn bullish very quick too, but right now it looks like it could come down because everything else looks like it's playing about, and just to be clear, anyone tuning in, a lot of these drawings you're seeing, I drew these a month, 2 months ago. You can go back to my old videos. Even this one here on the ink, I think I drew this in like April. So it's uncanny. But, there's a lot of volatility right now we couldn't predict. But that's the thing with the charts, man. Like, you see the charts, you know that something is going to happen that's going to cause it, right? Show me the chart, I'll tell you the news, right? So I don't know what's going to cause this let's say this fall, right? But the news will come. Some news event.
Could be peace. That'd be great. War in Ukraine's over. War in Iran, Israel is over. Everybody's happy.
Okay.
Everybody's buying stocks, whatever. That'd be great.
It could.
Probably a stretch.
Yeah, when you're looking at charts, you're just looking at just clues in the charts, and that's it. No matter how bullish you want to be, you got to obey. But you also, because it's crypto and manipulation, cycles, you also understand that you can't completely trust charts with these low liquidity crypto projects. You also need to understand where you are. That's why I also look at timelines. Like, okay, I'm anticipating that end of the summer we're going to be picking up, or by July we're going to be picking up. So this may be your lows coming in now-ish, right? Just out of pure understanding cycles, right? I'm also thinking of that as well, not just pure charts, because crypto, if you guys are new to crypto, you understand why you get faked out so much. That's why traders come here from Wall Street. They get destroyed, man. My friends that work at hedge funds, they hate a lot of these crypto projects because they can't wrap their finger around it because they're really manipulated. And they can move on a dime. It can look like it's about to fall apart, and then all of a sudden it rips on you and goes the opposite direction, right? We've seen this a lot. I think BNB, Binance Coin, was the biggest one. You guys want to see that really quick so you guys understand what I'm talking about. Why traders come over here and they get destroyed. Even Gareth Soloway is like one of the famous traders, right? He's like constantly got destroyed this cycle, right? Because when you look at this chart on Binance Coin, and there's a lot of these in crypto, we can look at a million of these. This is a disaster. This looks like it was about to fall apart, okay? 100% looks like it was about to fall apart. So this is what we saw before, right? In 2022, 2023. So if you were a trader from Wall Street and you saw this right here, what would you do? You'd short the fuck out of this thing, right? Because you're like, well, we got to come down and test some of this stuff, right? But what did it do? Look at this. Look at this thing right here. That's why I said on ink too, like it may not come down to any of those candles, right?
A lot of centralization with Binance, though, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, you have a large central exchange, you have a majority holder that is controlling everything. Like, they could be shorting, pumping it intentionally to liquidate a guy like that.
Yeah, yeah. So I think who was shorting this famously? A lot of people were. I remember YouTube videos on Binance Coin. They were like, it's going to fall apart, da-da-da-da-da. And then look what it did. Inverse head and shoulders right here. Look at this thing. That's what I'm waiting for to see on a lot of the charts as well. I was showing you guys on ETH and some other ones. I'm anticipating those showing up pretty soon here. Got this big pop right here. And the thing is, look at that. Like it came up to the target. It didn't even really retest. It was see you later, bye-bye. And this is crypto. You didn't even get a retest where you had an opportunity to go like, okay, I'll close my short and I can get back in and along. No, man. It did an inverse head and shoulders. You're like, okay, fine. It's going to come back and give me a chance to retest. Nope. It went. Because when you have a fake out this big, and you'll see, I'm looking for these all the time in crypto, right? I'm looking for them all the time. And Binance, this is like, if you want to see the like textbook, like just destroyed people's lives, this chart right here, because they were short. So many people must have been short down here. And now it's up here. And now this looks, honestly, this looks mega bullish, man. Binance looks bullish. Like, it doesn't look like it's coming back into this flag at all. It looks like it's only going to go up. So good for if you're in BNB. I'm not, but so that's what crypto does. That's why people come over here and they try to read charts, or when people try to tell me too much about like, yeah, but Saint, this chart has the Bollinger Band, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, bro. Like, yeah, you could have done that to me here and told me all the reasons why this could collapse, and it didn't, right? So you have to really step back a lot. You know, something looks really bullish, it could just turn bearish. Something looks very bearish, it's about to be over. That could be the time when it's about to rip your face off and go the opposite direction. And same thing here.
If anybody's going to short Hex, long Hex, and win or lose, that'll be the story.
Yeah, yeah.
You can short Hex on Pulse Chain. If you think it's going to zero, go ahead, place a short. Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, look, to be bearish on a chart like this, you're bearish on Binance. And going into a bull run, it's just stupid, even though the chart looked like shit. That's why sometimes you can't always go off pure technicals. And that's one thing, you know, when I'm drawing, I'm not. That's why I draw the way I do, guys, just so you understand. Because I know technicals, but I like to detach myself from technicals. And that's the kind of, I guess, what I bring to the table when it comes to charting. My ability to detach myself from technicals. Because if you were to have been a technical trader here, everything should have told you that this was coming down. There's nothing in this when it was here that was bullish. Nothing at all. This is a disaster waiting to happen. But what did it do? You know you're going into a 4-year cycle. It's now the year here is 2023. You have to be bullish on Binance. They do the most exchange volume in the world. So, you know, you have to understand a little bit more about cycles. You can't just get caught up in technicals all the time. In crypto, you know. Even in stocks. I remember Apple was really bearish, and then they surprised everybody a couple quarters ago and started doing buybacks, right? And flipped it bullish again. And now they're falling apart again, but because they kind of suck now, but you know, it can happen in the stock market too. But PX, it's looking good, but once again, just like the other problem we have, you know, everything's taking a bit of a hit, so everything's showing a little bit of a lot of weakness right now, you know, across the board, and PX is also showing that as well. You got this beautiful M, you know, that just stands out, glorious McDonald's, coming up here, showing a lot of weakness at the support line, so obviously it looks like it wants to come back down. You know, there's no doubt about that. Now, the good thing is you got a ton of support below you, like a ton, especially with, you know, with these bottoms here. So you can just draw a line. I would say this might be your line in the sand. I don't think it's going to go under there. So maybe you get half a penny shot again to get it, because this M just looks nasty. It just does not look pretty at all.
Way lower inflation now, right? So like the guys who used to be a ton of old school Hexkins who made big money running like 30 to 60 day stakes, maybe 90 days, and then they're just selling on that cycle. But because the OA stakes so much Hex itself, instead of 38%, they're down to whatever 0.38%, and they're no longer able to do that basically. So you have reduced inflation, and I think it's probably bullish for price right now. I don't think it'll be bullish for price forever. I think that'll probably change. But right now, yeah, way less hex being sold month to month.
Okay, great. So the way you want to think about it now is don't get greedy at the bottom. You're at like 0.06 cents. Like, I'm not going to wait for 0.004. If I needed more hex, I'd just be DCAing, right? Because like I just showed you, these can look really bearish, especially when you understand cycles and the fact that I think we are, ETH is going to make a move. Maybe it's not next week. Maybe it is a month from now or 2 months. But we're about at that place in the cycle. So you don't want to get too bearish here. Even if things look bearish and we do make a little bit of low, don't get caught up in it too much. And certainly don't get caught up in the war. Understand there's still a cycle that is waiting to be played out here. And it is going to play out. I really think it is. Even though it feels like it won't, it always feels like it's not going to play out, and then it somehow does. So don't get greedy at the bottoms. You know what I mean? Don't get weird down here. If you need more hex, start, picking it off. If you get some of these lower targets and we get down here to half a penny again, great. You get a little more. But big fucking deal here at 0.006 cents on it. So, be smart. Be smart right now. I'm just giving you a little bit more resolution here that we may get a little bit, lower target. We got a little bit of a bearish candle there on the weekly forming already. And this is an M, but just like I showed you on BNB, it could start to come down and then reverse on you very quickly because we're at that phase where I think we're about to run pretty soon. So you don't want to screw this up. Make sure you get loaded up. We're already down at the bottom. Even if you get ink at $1.40 versus, let's say it does get to 80 cents. Okay, fine. You can get a little more, right? Like don't get weird at these bottoms. You're better having a bag,
maybe, right? Like,
yeah.
Buy some now, buy some at $1.30, buy some at 90 cents if you see that. But if you bought it at $1.30 and then that was the low, you'll be pretty happy you bought a little bit at the very least.
There's nothing wrong with buying ink at $1.40 right now. Like, this does not have to play out. I once again, I drew this 2 months ago. I have no idea it's going to play out. It's just kind of played out so far. But I don't know. So don't go off this. But if we do get some of these, great. I'll buy a little more. You know what I mean? I think that because we're getting close to running, if hex does come down to half penny, I'll buy a little more of PX again, right? I have plenty of Pulse and Pulse X, but I would maybe pick up maybe more hex or ink. I don't know. Let's see. I know you guys want to see pDAI. Let's go look at pDAI. Okay. Let's look at pDAI. Let me just look at this. I haven't looked at it in a second. I know, I gotta put the tempo.
No more exploit.
So there's only 82K liquidity. So on a $116 million market cap right now, I'm not gonna pretend to do a lot of TA right now or ever. I just understand that there's a lot of fundamentals on pDAI, so it can do quite well. I still have a rather large bag of pDAI, so I'm happy about that. And but
you're not the only one though, right?
Huh?
You're not the only one with a large bag of pDAI.
There are people with much bigger bags than me now, and it seems like if this was manufactured, and once again, I'm not one of those people who cares. Like, same thing with the news. I don't give a fuck, man. Like, when I see when I do a drawing, I just look at the chart. I don't know what the news will be that will cause these bottoms to happen, or same thing on ink when I draw this stuff. I look at so many charts. I just have a good handle on what price action looks like. Same thing here. If I know that something like this happened once before, I don't need to know the reason. Like, you don't need to tell me, like, write me like, hey, but look, Wolf, we fixed it. No, dude, this happened once, it can happen again. So I know that going into it. And same thing with price action. It's like, I see all the possibilities. This right now looks very bullish to me, just in well, full disclosure, it's very bullish right now. It's forming a juicy head and shoulders. It looks like it could pop. So, let's go ahead and just give it the fairness it deserves in terms of, from a TA perspective. So you're talking about, if this plays out, I'm being really rough and fast with this TA right now. You're talking about a move to about 0.006. So let's just say half a penny-ish. Okay.
And how much liquidity are we looking at there?
But and why I'm doing this like really rough and dirty is because like there's only 82K liquidity, so I'm not attached to anything, and why I'm not drawing anything on this chart, because it could do anything. But why I'm not dumping my pDAI is because I do think there's pumpamentals here, and it's gonna go up, especially with 82K liquidity. Now, who's gonna get to sell? I don't know. Or maybe somebody will start putting in liquidity as the price goes up. That's another thing as well. So you're ready for all these things. But I know that when I look left and I see something happen in the past, I know it can happen again, including whatever this was here. I don't care what people say, like, oh, well, it was for the good of the community, blah, blah, blah. No, this is a manufactured move, and if they manufactured it once, they can manufacture it at any point on this journey up. So that's the thing. It's like, I know it's going to go up, but who will get to sell? And, will only the people that were told when the dump came, will they be told when the pump, whatever, right? Like, these are things you got to anticipate going into it. That being said, I'm holding. This looks bullish right now. That's good. There's a bit of resistance above you. That's fine, but looking good. There's only 82K liquidity though, so it's not. It can move very easily. There's more liquidity in the. Yeah, I know there's more pairs. There's more liquidity. Let's go look at Atropa really quick. Let's go look at Atropa too. What's going on? This one says 40 million market cap, 33K liquidity. Now look at this drawing I did, right? Like, it played out fucking to a T, right? Literally, it went up on exactly where I drew the arrow. And you guys remember when I did this inverse head and shoulders. And this is exactly what DAI is doing right now too, right? You can see that inverse head and shoulders. I'll draw it on here. You guys can see. And I said the same for bear and what have you. I don't think we're gonna have time to get into everything, but you got here, here, here. And come over to Atropa. Atropa did the same thing. And this I drew I drew this a long time ago because I was drawing it when I already see it kind of forming. And then I drew this and it went exactly up there. And we're holding above. Now this is a lockout move because now you're above the major areas that were resistance before. You're just above them. Nobody can get back. It's not going to come back down again. I think if this... let me look. Hang on. Give me a second here.
I think I trust pDAI more than I trust the Atropa dev.
You trust pDAI now?
Well, now I do, right? Now it's a meme coin. It has no functions, right? And I feel like his past actions have tarnished some things.
What's going on now? What's going on now? Yeah, I think we could. I mean, it could come back into this purple box a little bit. I mean, I guess you never know if the market does get a lot of fear coming into it. You could get a pullback back to like 3 or 4 cents, but it's holding up really strong, man, right now. It is holding up really strong. Yeah, it could even just stay above. Man, where I put my box was perfect. Look at that. Just right there. Like, oh man, perfect spot. You know, this purple box has been here forever. It's been beautiful. I don't even need to change it. It's perfect before. So it could just dance above this. This looks like very strong resistance, man. We'll have to look and see what happens. But it's popped above there. I need to see what this is going to do. Atropa is looking really strong, and there's a lot of liquidity on this. This right now looks like it could start to look very bullish. It's just kind of hanging out right now. It's hanging out. If it comes down more, I'll back up the truck, but I don't know if it will. That was a strong move out of there. So Atropa or pDAI could do something similar. We can look at the original bear really quick too. Is that also, what's it called? Teddy bear? Is this one?
Bear or teddy bear?
Okay, so I was anticipating same thing here.
That's the old one, okay.
Yeah, it's the old one. But now I got to move this because now we're over here. So this did not pop yet, but it's still moving up. And yeah, it's looking a little squirrely now, like everything else, because of what's going on and the fear and the ETH, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, it's getting a little squirrely again. Hasn't popped yet. Let's see what happens. It still looks fine to me. It still could absolutely make one of those moves. Like pDAI's already started there. And yeah, Atropa's looking good, man. Atropa's really strong. I'm glad I'm holding all my Atropa. Yeah, I understand what you mean about the dev. Like, I'm not crazy about some of the decisions made by the dev or how they're working and stuff. But what they built is still standing. It's still there. So,
there's clearly an ecosystem. Yeah. It's all about like the scale too, right? Like, if you have $1,000 in this or $2,000, it's a lot different than having $400,000 in Atropa. If for small bags you can take different risks.
Yeah, I don't have small. I don't.
So $50-$60, yeah, I'm in. That's what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, I only have about $10 in there.
Oh well, then. Yeah, no problem.
No, I've been bullish on. I mean, everybody knows, right? Like, I was always very bullish in Atropa for since the beginning, since 2020. When did I buy Atropa? 2023. Yeah. I'm still very bullish on Atropa. Okay, so shout out to 414, but Fast Abdul equals bad news. Yeah, smash the like button. How are we not at 100 likes? Who does TA like this? Like, seriously, who does it better? Tell me. Well, you got to look at what I do, and then maybe you all have some technical people you follow too, some really technical people. That's also good as well. But I mean, come on, look at this. Look at that. That is crazy. You guys remember I drew this. I drew this before this inverse head and shoulders had finished forming. I drew this line going up. And I was like, we're going to do a lockout move, and it's going to break out above this purple box and be done. And it did exactly that. So smash those like buttons. Let's get it up to 100.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at the 414's BFF. I mean, I'm still bullish on BFF too, which is a teddy bear of the Atropa dev. Now let's see if this did lockout move yet. Nope. I'm still anticipating this to also do something like Atropa. Been waiting for this one for a while.
What's this one called again?
This is BFF. This is the BFF, right? Like the white teddy bear, or I don't know. That's somebody made the drawing.
A different teddy bear.
Yeah, so this the original teddy bear, I guess we all thought of it as a Richard Hart teddy bear, and then the BFF was the Atropa Dev's teddy bear token. BFF. Well, I don't know if it was meant to be a teddy bear, or maybe somebody, just an artist, made the site and made a teddy bear. I don't know if it was meant to be. It's just called BFF. But I'm bullish on the bears, man. When you've been in crypto long enough, you know that when one bear runs, they're all going to run. Like when the old bear runs, the BFF's going to run too. There's no doubt about it. It looks bullish to me. So now in the short term, same thing. Like a lot of things we looked at, it's a bit of head and shoulders. Looks a little bit squirrely over here. Dude, are you kidding me? Does this fucking draw out almost? Damn, that is crazy. That is crazy. Look at that match. If we go back to the old videos where I draw these. Yo, what's up, brother? Clean analysis. Thanks, man. I think it's kind of messy analysis, but it's pretty spot on. I think I drive the real technical people crazy. Yeah.
He's saying, "What's up, Fotina? How you doing? Long time no see. What's your question? Who has a question? H. What's your question? H. Bick it down. How do you say your name? Bick it down.
What's your question, man?
Shoot. So, yeah, Bear's looking good.
It's Black Hack Down. Black Hack Down.
Let's just touch on most really quick. Ooh.
Man.
Yeah. I told you. I warned you guys about most, didn't I? I warned you guys. I bet you pump is up. But, right? Let's see. I haven't looked at these long. Okay, it's holding up better. It's holding up better for sure.
Yeah.
It's holding up better.
A lot lower market cap on pump, right?
Yeah. I mean, all these kind of look a little bearish right now because of what's going on. Once again, to emphasize, it's not that anything's wrong. It's just ETH and there's a nuclear war possible. Fear.
Yeah, there's that.
Fear porn going on. So everything's got a little bit of this breaking down vibe right now. But this looks like it had already broken down and it's breaking down again. This might actually make it down to some of my lower targets here, at least to 2 cents for sure. 1.5 cent, 0.015 cent. Where was that pump? I think this is going to go a little bit lower here on most. Actually, we don't know. Once again, who knows, right? Still pretty low liquidity. Could come down to 2 cents. Where is pump? Tires. Pump is also going to come down.
Most is still a hot meme, though, eh? Like, you know, the branding is spot on. I like it.
I love it, dude. I think that you're right. Branding is spot on. I like everything about it.
And RH has bought it up before. The same with Pump, I'm pretty sure. I think he's bought both of those.
I think they're both great. I think these are both two great memes. You should have at least one. I don't think you can go wrong with it. Maybe pick one. I've gotten people asking me which one should I get. You can get a little bit of both. I like to pick one because I'm a bit of not a risk taker, but I just like to also test my decision-making skills. So I've chosen one of these two. And I have you kind of like, it's part of the fun, I think. I don't need to be right all the time. I feel confident enough that I can make enough of the right moves. But with these two, I picked one. I was like, okay, I'm just going to make a choice. So I picked Pump. And so far, it's been a good decision. Only because I do think that Pump Tires is an incredible brand that's going to lead beyond him being known as most wanted or whatever. And there's a big incentive for everyone to keep pumping this token because it brings a lot of attention to Pump Tires website, which is
look at the logo. Pump Tires is the logo.
And literally everyone who makes a token on there, especially when the bull run heats up, you're going to see how many tokens come out of there. It's burning pulse. It's just a win-win to be in Pump Tires, I think. An absolute win-win.
Not necessarily a win-win to buy anything from Pump Tires. Like, disclaimer, there's a lot of shenanigans over there.
Well, I mean, this token's a win-win, right? Because people gambling on there is pumping pulse because it's burning pulse. Yeah, so it's a win-win in that sense. I'm not telling you guys to rush
this token. Richard Hart has 80%, or like the OA or whatever, right? The same with most. Like they took 80% of the supply when they created the token. It gives it a certain base, and of course you have burnt liquidity.
So Hex, look at pulse once again. Yeah, it's hanging out right now. Let's come back here and look at ETH. Interesting. Pubs, everybody out there, smash the like button if you guys are having a good time. So, to recap really quick, don't get too caught up in the narratives about what's happening. I think the cycle is going to still play out, all right? Though it could be a quicker cycle. Like maybe BTC does top out in August or September instead of October. Fine, then we get ETH and alts pumping sooner, hopefully.
they're going to try to messing with your head. It probably won't feel comfortable to DCA in this next few weeks. So be ready for that, because this may be the best time to start to DCA into a lot of altcoins, Ethereum, Pulse Chain, anything connected to this stuff. Now's, over the next few weeks, is going to be the best time. So keep that in mind. That things are going to run, even though they feel like they're not going to. And there's going to be a lot of great bullish narratives that are going to pop up suddenly as well, right? To climb us out of the summer. Okay, even though right now it's kind of bearish narratives showing up, well, they're going to flip it soon, right? And they're going to start pumping bullish narratives again into leaving the summer, right? As we go into the fall. And you're going to want to, be part of that. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be really cool. Yeah, we're looking good, man. I think there could be a little bit of softness, but I don't see anything too major. I think maybe we just get some softness. Maybe we do get some more pullback, but we're going to be ready to run. I think we got to be ready for July. I think everybody should be ready for July. Your bottoms could be coming in now or over the next few weeks. That's it.
Do you think by July we have the bottoms on altcoins?
Yeah, I do. And I've thought that for many, many, many months. And that's one of the reasons I took May off. If you guys notice, I wasn't streaming, but I did put in the Telegram. I was like, hey, I'm going to start my summer early, because I had a feeling that we're going to want to be at the desk July, August, because we at Pulse Chain could start moving first. It could be the first big layer one out of the gate. Okay, because maybe ETH starts getting strength, and maybe Richard Hart's just like ready to go. Okay, so you got to understand that just because ETH maybe really starts going in September, we could be going in July, August, because we could be the talk of the summer. Maybe it's. I remember DeFi summer, right? Maybe, and then there was meme coin summer, right? 2024 or something. Maybe we're gonna have DeFi summer again. As Pulse Chain is gonna be the star of the show, and it would make sense if everything else was chill August or July, August, and we start going green. That would make everybody in crypto look at us, and come into the fall, we would be the talk of everything, because now Bitcoin's now going all time, whatever, blah, blah, blah is happening, right? So I'm already thinking about that, or anticipating that as one possibility in the back of my head. And anything is possible. I mean, maybe they start printing this summer. But my first take is that they're going to let something happen, and maybe that thing is what finally ends the bull run in the fall, and then they start printing in 2026 after a few months of whatever we go through.
Well, then would that keep us going like for longer if they start printing in 2026?
Mm-hmm. It could reignite a big run. That's what I have a feeling is going to happen, and that's why I've talked about we could have this big double
top.
Yeah, and we have this crazy rip into 2027, 28, catching everybody off guard. Who's expecting a multi-year bear or whatever? I don't know. It's one take, but we'll see. We'll see as we get there. I want to keep our eye on the war too. So yeah. So hopefully I'll get to stream again pretty soon. We'll see what happens tomorrow and Sunday as well, going into it. And we'll get some more time. I don't have time to go, but we'll go into more alts and some more tokens and stuff for you guys. In the meantime, come to the
there's
Telegram.
some cool new tokens out there.
Yeah, come to the Telegram at St. Wolf Vision. Got a lot of cool stuff going on, and some big announcements coming up here soon. So at St. Wolf Vision on Telegram, go check it out. Deerslayer's in there as well. He's a very nice guy. You get to meet him.
I think you might be going too far to say he's a really nice guy.
I don't want to scare him off too early. Actually, he's really mean in the Telegram. If you guys come over there, he's way worse than he is in the chat. So
yeah, he cuts you off. If you're posting scams in the Telegram, you're a slayer.
Street Satoshi says the next bear for Bitcoin is just going to be a correction like 50% sideways shit's losing volatility. Yeah. That's another thing too. These things are losing volatility. You can see that on the chart. But we don't know. We don't know anything. I think there's going to be some surprises with Bitcoin. I think that's why we have a copy of Bitcoin on Pulse Chain. I know it's not the same thing, but from a Pump and Metals point of view, it is the same thing. But maybe we have something better. Maybe we have something better than Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin's days are numbered. And maybe in the future, everybody only wants Ink token. Ink is the new Bitcoin.
Yeah, it could be the new like world trade currency. You know, like, oh, you want to buy some uranium from Canada and ship it to Pakistan, you better have $1 billion ink. You know, anything flies if you have enough ink.
There you go. 100% agree with you, man. 100%. Okay, guys, 3 more people hit the like button. Let's get up to 100 likes at least. Make my day. Just DCA into Armageddon. What? Oh yeah, Shillers get booted in the Telegram. You got to go to Wolf's Pub. We got a pub at the top of the screen. You can see all the Telegram groups as well. It's St. Wolf Vision. We got. It's not Wolf's Pub, is it? Oh yeah, it is Wolf's Pub. And then we got Passport Pub. If you guys want traveler news, a lot of people were asking where to get visas from. Well, we don't supply visas, but you can ask questions about moving around. We got a lot of expats in the Travelers Pub or the Passport Pub. Two more likes.
We just lost our music, I think.
Oh, you did?
Well, I'm not here anymore.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Oh,
yeah,
it's back now.
Yeah. It's System Audio did that weird thing it does sometimes.
Yeah.
Sounds too Shilla standing down. Thank you. I like this style though. My ask sounds. Oh, what was he asking? I didn't even see that. Yeah, there we go. You guys are absolutely amazing. It's good to be back. Good to see everybody again. And we're gonna be ready. You gotta be ready, man. Trust me. You guys don't understand. You gotta be ready. Make sure you guys get rest. So, by the way, just another thing, really quick. If you guys didn't take a break, take a break, because you will burn out. Because a lot of this sideways action is designed to exhaust you. It's like hunting prey. Like market makers are wearing you down. That's why, for me, because I look at charts, they're very exhausting and tiring. And like I said, one thing, I do put myself out there. So there's like that intensity of like, everyone sees what I do, like in the raw. And so I needed to just like, okay, the summer started. I need to get some sun, get some rest, because I don't want to get worn down with the volatility. And the euphoria can be exhausting too. And I know what's coming. All right. So make sure you get a little rest, even if you're like, I'm not going to look at charts for like a few days or a week. Obviously, you just check in. There's some tensions happening and maybe some good buying opportunities, but get a little bit of rest. Get your it's your endocrine system and your nervous system need the rest. It's not you. It's like your nerves need to get like cooled off, if that makes sense. That way you're just cool. You're just cool and calm, because you're gonna need it. Because if, let's say, Hartman starts streaming in July, things just get crazy, then you're gonna be glued to the screen. You're gonna be glued to your phone. Like, I know what's coming. It's literally like every 10 minutes, fucking market caps open. I got trading view open. I'm looking at every chart for clues, da-da-da-da. So I just kind of tuned out for a second so I could like refresh my nerves, because I'm about to hit it again, and it's like 24/7 for me, right? I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm looking at the charts, I'm, looking at the candles, and same thing for you guys. So get your rest. Make sure you're kind of where you need to be, where you're calm, you're cool, because people are gonna. The way the markets work is they make you get invested at the wrong time, not just money-wise, but emotionally, if that makes sense. The market's very sophisticated, and it's connected to the media cycle, the news events. You see they time these wars, they time the riots. Everything's all coordinated, man. At the higher level, they know all this stuff's happening, and they know what you're going through. They got you jumping through hoops, freaking out, waking up in the middle of the night. Oh, what's going on? Oh, what's going on? And before you know it, the bull run hasn't even started and you're already burned out. So make sure you just get a little bit of sun, do what you need to do to get chill, because Hartman's going to be streaming, I think, in July. I know some people are saying that he's not going to stream, but I think he's going to. I think he's going to come back blazing.
I do too. I think that's once that SEC thing's done, the red notice thing's still there. Crypto 7 thinks that's, the end of the world, but I don't think it is. I think he'll still stream with the red notice.
Fuck the red notice, man. I don't think that one matters. I think he's going to come back guns blazing, and you better be rested, because you will be glued to your phone. You'll be watching every stream. Somi will somehow figure out to make another 5 videos a day on top of the 10 he already makes or whatever. Like, it's going to be full on. So your energy levels and kind of what you need. So do it. Just do it. You have like maybe a few more weeks. It'll get very intense. It'll be exciting. It'll be cool, but you won't sleep.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I think to take 2 weeks now is probably a good plan, because once it happens, it's going to be wild. And it's going to be like 2-3 months of madness,
Yeah. Let's say the Heartman starts streaming in July. Dude, when are you going to fucking sleep? Because then we're going to come back into the fall and it's going to be raging. It could be 3 months, man. So make sure.
You used to do like 7-hour streams, right? So maybe he starts doing that again.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. And we were doing 7-9 hour streams. We were doing, you can see when I was streaming a few months ago, I was doing 5, 7, 9 hour streams. If the Heartman's come back and he's doing 5, 6, 7 hour streams, what do you think we're going to be doing? We're going to be doing like 10, 11, 12 hour streams. Just trying to report on everything and catch everything. Yeah, get some rest. I feel like I'm about ready for all-nighters again, so a month of workout. Yeah, I've been just working out, sleeping. I've had days where I've just slept in and just like gone to bed early, really rested up. Cold plunge. Yeah, cold plunge.
You getting ready for the next big push.
Yeah. So get you guys ready, because once it starts, it won't not start. Like once he starts streaming and prices start moving and volatility comes back in these charts, man, I'm telling you, you will not be able to sleep. It's just the emotions, that everything is going to be so extreme. So do what you need to do to get in the right place.
Yeah, I'm frantically working to like get my new stuff ready for that time, right? Because once he's on the screen, it's not too late, but like it'd be better if you could have things out before he's on the screen.
Yeah. And think about this too, with imagine all the craziness we've had over the last 6 months with pDAI and rug pulls and this scam and that scam. What do you think's gonna happen when the bull run gets going, man? It's gonna 10x. 10x. Scammers are gonna come out.
Scammers will come out of the woodworks, and they'll get better, right? Yes. Like we'll get the A-level scammers. Right now we're getting like the C-level scammers with like the guys with like Nigerian accents, who phone you and say they're Fast Abdul. But you'll get like the slick scammers in 3 months from now when Pulse Chain's pumping, right? Because they'll be like, oh, there's money here. We'll send the A-team.
Exactly, 100%.
Trust no one.
So you need to be I know my state, what it's going to be like. And so I'm going to be like, only scattered sleep, whatever. And then when you're being bombarded with scammers and everything, and you got to be ready for it, because it's tough. It's tough when you're like not rested. Euphoria is at full tilt. Your emotions are hot. So do it all. Come to the Telegram at St. Wolf Vision, Gmail. We're there for you guys. And until the next stream, we're gonna miss you guys. Fast, you want to close this one? I think.
I'm here for the tech.
You here for the tech? Me too.
Sure.
We got good tech over here. Chat, you guys are awesome. You guys are amazing. It was great to see everybody. Look, we got 200 likes. This is incredible. We'll see you guys soon. Night, everybody.